Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Aggie and I love spooky shit. And today we are revisiting the BBC archives, and I will pop a link for them in the description below. And today we are looking at a video from 1973 about the ghosts of Black Lane. So, let's check it out.
At the far end of a long, sweeping valley, there's a black hole, shadowed by dark walls of rock. They guard a lake of secrets.
Ooh.
The only sound is the wind and the soft slap of the water.
Is this Yorkshire?
Llyn Lake, alone and forbidding.
It looks like a quarry.
For centuries, Dulyn has stood alone. Even the one thing that survive here, the fish, are said to be different from other fish.
How?
Well, fish are noted for being thin, dark, large heads on them. They don't keep at all, I don't know why.
How deep is the lake?
Well, I've heard tales, mind you, that they've tested it and they can't find a bottom to it.
If ever there was a ready-made setting for a ghost...
Okay, from the accents, that sounds to me like that's North Walian. So, yeah, we will see, because I don't know yet. It hasn't said in the title or anything of the video, but that sounds North Walian to me. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to be right.
Story. It surely must be here. A barren spot that's seen tragedy and death.
Well, it's the loneliness and, nobody except yourself up there. And
have you been frightened at all there?
Possibly. It's a terrible thing to admit, but...
That's definitely, and especially because the name on the top of his, I think it was like a walking stick or something, was Gwilym. So, yeah, we are in the realms of Wales here, and again, I'm hedging my bets on North Wales.
Yes, there's nothing brave about me at all, but...
oh, Gwilym, I reckon you're brave.
Genuinely.
Dulyn's moods can be dark and threatening, but its spell is more than just a frightening loneliness. People tell of voices, cries that ring across the water and echo round the hills. John Owen used to go fishing at Dulyn.
Well, I was up there a few years ago with a pal of mine for a day's fishing, and we started fishing about an hour and a half later. We were about 100, 150 yards apart, and I heard a voice and I took it.
Oh, but his accent sounds South Wales. Apart, Cardiff. I don't know.
My pal had called me to say something, so I shouted to him and asked him what he'd said. And he turned around and shook his head and told me he'd said nothing, you see.
Ooh.
So I looked around and nobody about. And a little while later I heard the voice again. And again I called him. And again he shook his head and said he hadn't said anything.
What did the voice say, though?
Once more later on. And I thought I'd better not call him again, or he'd think I was going down the bend or something. So I just, that's all it was to it, you see. But I definitely heard something. I don't believe in ghosts and the like, but I heard a voice, definitely heard something.
But what did it say?
Was it a man's voice?
Yeah, a man's voice, yeah.
Had you heard any of the stories about the lake before getting up there?
No, this is the odd part, and since when I came down, and I mentioned it a few weeks later to a chap who fishes the lake a lot, and he said to me, oh, you've heard them as well. So, and from then on, of course, I heard all sorts of stories about people hearing voices there.
Oh, see, I love that.
One small boy
What did they
knows Dulyn
say?
better than most. John Evans has built up a strange collection in a ramshackle chicken coop.
So this is a panel from the side of the aeroplane. It must have been on the outside because it's camouflage.
He saves the twisted fragments of a ghost squadron of Wellingtons, Lincolns, Ansons and Dakotas that have come to grief around Dulyn. A museum of bullet-scarred fuselages, shattered perspex from cockpit windows and smashed joysticks. The bits and pieces of aircraft that never got home. There's no such thing as a gentle breeze round here. A westerly comes gusting down off the top of that mountain and forms a vicious downdraft that can drag an aircraft out of the sky. And that's why this lonely spot is known as the Aviators Graveyard.
Oh. It does look like a rather haunting place for things like that to happen, doesn't it?
We as boys went up to the vicinity of the crash, being nosy, and I remember RAF.
To be fair to you, I think that, you know, being nosy is maybe peeking out your curtains. Like when an aircraft crashes, I think that's actually just being quite human, getting up there and having a look, and also potentially hoping, I guess, to help maybe.
Personnel bringing the bodies of the German crew down on stretchers covered with blankets, and they were passing quite closely to us. And one of the RAF people drew back the blanket and said, "Have you ever seen an Iron Cross, boys?" I don't remember seeing the Iron Cross. What I really remember then, being at a very impressionable
seeing the
age,
body,
is the bloated face of the poor chap lying on the stretcher, and the sogginess of his uniform, and I don't know, the sadness of it all, really.
Oh, bless you. Well, that's one way to scar a child. Fucking hell, RAF guy.
The fuselage of the Dakota, still clinging to the rock face above the lake, is today hardly distinguishable from the heather and the lichen.
Look at that.
Most of it has corroded into Dulyn. Only the undercarriage has been washed up from the water. A year ago, divers recovered its tail section and brought it ashore. But long since, the water has sucked it back again. But as the horror of it all recedes, the legends continue to grow.
Well, there was some couple up there, and they were convinced that they heard voices. They were having a picnic on the side of the lake, and they were convinced they heard voices, somebody calling, and there was nobody around. And they said they could hear somebody shouting and calling, and then it suddenly stopped. Looked around and there was nobody there.
That wouldn't surprise me, a place like that, kind of, if it's been the source of, you know, if it's been the source of a lot of death, especially like sudden deaths in quite a violent way, then it, to me, would make sense that like whether you believe in it or not, whether like the kind of energy of that area would maybe kind of keep certain things around. I don't know. So they still haven't said where it is yet. So if they don't say it, I'm going to have to Google this afterwards, so at least I can put it in the video, so I can be vindicated or embarrass myself like on my guesses. I love the spooky sound effects, BBC, along with the haunting music, you know, really drive the point home. No, they didn't flipping say. Okay, right. Hang on a minute. Black Lake. Let's get on the phone here. Okay, where is Black Lake, UK? Because the BBC wouldn't tell me. Black Lake. Oh, yes, here we go. I was right. It is Snowdonia, so that's North Wales. Woohoo! So I am so chuffed that I was right. Location in the Carneddau, I think it's Carneddau, mountain range in North Wales. Carneddau mountain range. My pronunciation isn't the best, but yeah, I think it's Carneddau. Again, my pronunciation is shocking, but you know, I get there in the end. Carneddau. So yeah, I was right. It's North Wales. You can always kind of usually tell a North Walian accent. They sound very... I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's lots of this and the rolling and it's lots of that, so it's always interesting. But anyway, I have rambled enough. I hope you enjoyed our little dive into the ghosts of Black Lake, and I hope you have a lovely evening, a lovely day, and I will see you again. Bye.